Welcome to the gathering at the Sawmill here in Lawrence, South Carolina. I'm Kris with Palmetto State Armory. I'm joined right now by Anthony from North American Rescue. We're going to talk about North American Rescue products. We're going to talk about the 4 clinics they're hosting here at the gathering this week, right now. First of all, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys are the reason this is working so well.
Right.
All right, so North American Rescue, walk me through the foundation of the company. You basically started, do you guys hold the patent on the combat litter? Is that right?
On the litter, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So the founder, former PJ, so we're a local veteran-owned company. Started the company 15 or so years ago. Wanted to improve the products that our soldiers were using and develop the new, what is currently the main evacuation platform to get casualties off the battlefield, which is our collapsible litter. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so obviously that's where a lot of your product lives and breathes. I've actually visited your location there, and are you technically Greer, South Carolina?
Technically Greer, yes.
Okay, so just outside of Greenville, South Carolina, massive facility off the main highway thoroughfare there. And you guys, I do want to touch on this so it doesn't get lost. Not only do you make exceptional products, which really what you do that's different than most is you make an exceptional product that for a guy like me, no formal military law enforcement training, definitely no formal medical training outside of, I'm a father of 3, so I get to experiment a lot.
Right.
But this stuff can be intimidating to a guy like me.
Right.
But you guys offer a lot of aftermarket educational support,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So most all of us that work there are former military or former public safety like myself. And so we have real world experience using a product, which makes it a whole lot easier for us to tell you or to train you how to use it. It can be intimidating. I get that. We try to teach on a very basic level of how the product works, what the pros and cons of it are, and when to apply it to a casualty. So absolutely. The training kind of goes hand in hand with the product. The product without the training or the training without the product are kind of useless. So it is a two-pronged solution. So.
And frankly, in some ways, dangerous.
Right.
All right. So talk me through what sets the product apart.
Okay.
And then I want to get into the Stop the Bleed class, which you'll be teaching.
Yes.
Four different classes this week. Okay. So let's start with the tourniquet. I think the combat action tourniquet's kind of what you're best known
Right.
for.
You know, when you hear cat tourniquet and North American Rescue, that's kind of where it kind of goes hand in hand. The cat is manufactured in South Carolina, so again, made in the USA. That's one thing that sets us apart. It is U.S. made, quality construction. So the cat tourniquet, that's what it looks like. This is our blue cat trainer. It also comes in black and orange. The difference in the blue cat trainer is only color, just to differentiate it as a trainer. This is a fully functioning tourniquet right now. If I needed to use this tourniquet on you to control hemorrhage, it'll stop bleeding just like the orange one that you may find in the kit here. So that's what the orange one looks like. So fully functioning tourniquet, we just try to differentiate our training supplies from our frontline tourniquet so that, you know, in a time that you're really trying to save somebody's life, you would use your black or orange tourniquet that's new right out of the package. So Stop the Bleed course, we'll go over pretty heavy the cat tourniquet because it's the most important thing in the kit. We'll also go over pressure dressing, which most people refer to as an Israeli dressing. There is an actual Israeli dressing that is a real thing. Ours is called the emergency trauma dressing, but it's the same concept. It's to apply to an extremity to apply direct pressure to control hemorrhage. So pressure dressing, that's in the kit there that you see. We'll go over wound packing. So we'll go over regular non-hemostatic gauze like this. We will talk about some of the hemostatic blood-stopping dressings out there that you would pack into a wound that help promote clotting. And that's really what we'll go over in the class. Chest seals are not a chest seal in this particular kit, but we'll have some chest seals in our training classes the next 3 days and show people when there's penetrating trauma to the chest, either from a projectile or an edged weapon, of how you can cover that up to prevent further damage. So
there's something to the S-rolled gauze, correct? Aren't there? There's 2 or several ways of rolling the gauze.
Okay, yes, there is.
S-rolled is special.
Right. So normal rolled gauze that you would buy at Walgreens or Walmart is in a roll. So for linear wound packing, in order for me to pack that into a wound, I have to unroll a length of it, put it in your body, put it in your wound, and then unroll some more. With our S-roll gauze, it kind of unfolds like a stack of Post-it notes. Once you grab the tip of it, it'll just keep coming out of the package until there is no more. You'll notice the orange dot here. This is actually a package inside of a package. So there's a dispenser pack in here, and what the orange dot is, that lets the user know, hey, that's where the end is, and that's already perforated. So you would just pick the end, and then that S-roll gauze, like I said, will just come out of this package as a continuous linear length of gauze until there is no more.
Directly into the wound.
Yeah, so it just makes linear wound packing more efficient because I'm not having to unroll. I can just pull it out of the package and put it in your wound and try to control hemorrhage, because that's the whole point, is that you're bleeding and I'm trying to stop the bleeding. So
the orange dot on the gauze reminds me of the red tip on the tourniquet.
Okay.
That indicates something as well.
It does, right. So you'll notice the red tip on the tourniquet, the red tear notches. That is one of our design ideas, so that the end user knows where the end of the tourniquet is or where to tear this open, because under stress and in a sensory deprived environment, let's say it's dark, how will you know? And I just had a customer ask me on driving here, he's like, hey, if I have a vacuum sealed bag and I take my knife to open it, couldn't I damage the product? And I said, well, yes, you could,
right,
but you don't have to use your knife to open it, because all of our packages have that red notch to show you where to tear it, and it's on everything. So, but no, very good. Red is one of the last colors that you lose when if you're bleeding and you start to lose consciousness. Red is one of the last colors to go away, and so that's been proven through science. So all of the red tip technology on the products and the red tear notches, that's what that's. So very good point. Very good question.
So walk us through then. This is the Stop the Bleed class is what you're doing. You said it was designed by the American College of Surgeons?
Yes.
Is that right?
Stop the Bleed course is a nationwide course put on by the American College of Surgeons following the Boston bombing event.
Oh, okay.
So when that happened and a lot of folks were injured, a bunch of surgeons got together. It was called the Hartford Consensus because it happened in Hartford, Connecticut. And they're like, hey, these events are going to continue to happen. Let's come up with a public access bleeding control model that we can just push out, unfunded mandate, just like AEDs being in common areas, malls and movie theaters. And so a lot of times when you're out in the general public, stadiums, I mentioned movie theaters, malls, a lot of times now, not only will you see an AED on the wall, but you'll see a first aid station that has a similar kit like this. And so the goal is to train the general public, just like we did in AED use and CPR, of how to control bleeding. And that's why we keep it very basic, and we cover everything that's in the kit. So while it may not be this particular kit, there'll be a kit similar to that in the airport. When something happens, you can grab the kit and you'll have a knowledge of what a tourniquet is, how to use it, what a pressure dressing is, and how to use it. So like I said, it's a two-part solution. Product and training kind of go hand in hand.
So if you're looking to be a more involved citizen, better prepared, able to help someone in a time of crisis, a class like this would do it. This is the kit you've brought to sell during or after the class, I would assume. So tell me, we see the tourniquet, I see the gauze, some nitride gloves, I'm assuming.
Survival blanket. And then this Israeli type dressing is the same dressing, just this is our military packaging. And it's the same dressing inside. It's really just the packaging. So one important thing about all of our kits, as far as Stop the Bleed go, are there pictorial instructions in here. So let's say you take the class over the next 3 days and then you don't touch the kit for a year. Well, how much do you retain in a 1.5 hour, 2 hour class? So our pictorial instructions, much like an airplane safety card, can walk you through the steps of all the products that are in the kit. So that kind of comes in handy. Unless you're going to touch the kit every day, realistically you wouldn't. But we do have the instructions in there in case you kind of forget. So.
And you don't have to go out to a class at an event like this. North American Rescue will offer training in person on site at your facility.
Yes, absolutely. So May coming up is actually National Stop the Bleed Month. And so throughout the month of May every year, we just offer a series of free classes at our location there in Greer. We'll do some in the morning, we do some midday at lunch, we'll do some early evening, and even some Saturday morning classes. We try to cater to everybody's schedule. Everybody's busy. And so they're about 1.5 hours to 2 hour long, just like the class we're doing here the next 3 days. And for the month of May, it's free. You just go online, www.narescue.com, and all of our classes will be listed there. You can pre-register, no charge. You can buy a kit, obviously, after the class if you prefer to, but it's not required. So we want to try to train as many people as we can.
Right, of course. And that's kind of the great part of your company, to not lose it to talking just about product. I think people should be well aware that, and I won't get into too many details, but you guys do a lot of good in the community while functioning as a business.
Right.
You're giving a lot of people an opportunity to step in and learn life skills that otherwise wouldn't get that. And you're also helping people, I'll say, a second chance. You offer a lot of second chances for people. And I think that's just great as a company in general. Yeah. So good on you guys for that. So I go to narescue.com.
Yes, sir.
Right? narescue.com. I've signed up for the class. I show up. I'm ready to go. What do I expect out of that day?
To be hands-on. So we obviously have to do some PowerPoint just to get the principles across, but it's all hands-on. You're actually going to be putting a tourniquet on yourself. You're going to be putting a tourniquet on the person sitting next to you.
Okay.
You're going to be putting a pressure dressing on each other's extremity. Now, we won't pack each other's wounds. We'll have wound packing trainers that we'll be using here the next 3 days, but you will actually physically do that. It's hard to teach this just in picture. You actually have to touch it, take it apart, and put it on, and you want to feel it's uncomfortable, right?
I don't.
So
no, I don't.
They get put on properly, they're very tight.
They hurt. Yeah.
And it hurts. But what hurts worse than that is bleeding to death when you know that there's a $20-something device that can save your life.
Fair enough.
So,
agree to disagree.
That's right. But it is very, very hands-on and very interactive.
Okay.
Right? So,
yeah. And so you don't get to choose the person to bring with you that you're going to make bleed.
I suppose you can.
Okay. All right. narescue.com.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Horton. Appreciate it, man.
We appreciate the partnership with Palmetto State Armory. We've
Glad to do
partners
it.
with you guys for several years, and we appreciate it.
It's probably worth saying, by the way, that if you're a small business or you're a big business or whatever you are, and you want to carry these types of products and you want to co-brand it,
absolutely,
North American Rescue will do that for you. Pretty awesome company. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.